All right, y'all. So I want to just take a moment to say, let me turn myself up. Hi, y'all. I just want to take a moment to say happy um, Indigenous History Month. And I also want to say, I've been hearing people talk about kids not being able to read. You know, if the kids can't read, it's your fault as an adult. It's not their fault, it's adults' faults. Because adults are not teaching children how to read properly. And the reason that you're not teaching children how to read properly is because you don't think of reading properly in the context of what it's supposed to be. If you're a fluent reader, that would mean that you basically are saying the words that you see on paper like you said it, like it's your thoughts. But no one says that to children. They don't say, read it like you said it. They just say, you have to read fluently and don't stumble over the words. You can use your fingers and sound it out. But the truth of the matter is, the children communicate. They talk. They speak to each other. They saying these words already. A part of communication is being able, a part of reading is being able to communicate. You communicate by speaking, you can be by writing, and by being able to read and regurgitate basically what you just read, right? But a different point and component about this is that the lie that's been filtering around. Oh, you can't read if you're not reading like what? What is the levels that you're basing the reading off of? What is the comparison? What is the spectrum that you're saying? Because there are a lot of people that have positions of power or positions in companies that are just stupid people. They don't acknowledge zero as being a number, and they don't acknowledge there are numbers on the opposite side of zero, and you can tell it by the way that they do their positions. But it's a lot of people that's just dumb and don't know how to take context clues and don't know how to comprehend what they are reading themselves. So what is this fragmented concept that y'all keep coming up with? What is it? Because it's not making sense. It's not making sense at all. And another thing, it seems like a rant. I'm not ranting, I promise. At what point are we going to energetically say that you probably shouldn't be reading other people's conjures like it's your own words? I'm under the impression, and I'm starting to believe that the school is just filled with too many lies, man. They literally have a certain point in history class, American history specifically, where if it's in a diverse class, the kids that are indigenous or copper tone or highly melanated are led to believe that everybody in America that was they color or like them was a slave back in the 1800s, 1400s, and such. Well, folks, that's a lie. Because everybody that was in America wasn't a fucking slave that was black. Huh? What? Yes, everybody wasn't a slave. Some people that was copper tone owned slaves. Huh? Some people that was copper tones wasn't slaves at all. Some of them was lawyers and doctors and shit. What? They was lawyers and doctors in the 1800s? There was a fucking hospital that was all for black folks in the 1800s. Stop, man. Y'all got to stop. The narratives just ain't narrowing no more. Okay? It don't make sense. It's just stupid things. And let's look at it from a different standpoint. Because y'all got kids thinking that they just don't fucking read, and they fucking read all day, every day. You have to figure out what the level of reading, what fluency you talking about. Oh, they just read on a fourth grade level. I don't think that the kids are reading on a fourth grade level. They literally are playing video games that require you to do fucking research. Not basic level research. No. I'm talking about researching to the point where you got to pause the game, get a fucking Dex or guidebook, read through some shit, probably go on to Reddit and look up some shit, probably look up some shit on some Wikipedia and probably on some Britannica, be looking up different geographic codes and shit. They be looking up shit with these games. Not only that, the majority of the games that I see my child playing, and most of the kids I see playing games, you literally have to read paragraphs worth of things on a computer screen, which is the video game console. They can't read. What? I think you're gonna have to revise the levels of what y'all was saying because it's outdated. It don't match what's happening now. And because it's outdated and it don't match what's happening now, y'all keep saying these same stupid things over and over again, and it just don't fit the concepts properly. But you're gonna have to change that. And you're gonna have to change it fast because it don't work no more. They literally got y'all thinking that slaves couldn't read. There's no way you can fucking cook and not read. You'd kill somebody. I don't think people taking it into context. You literally have to know how to read in order to cook. No, you don't. You don't have to know that salt and rat poison ain't the same thing. You don't have to know that they not different because sometimes they keep those things in the kitchen. Maybe I'm just saying. They kitchens wasn't necessarily set up like our kitchens are set up today. You don't have to know that dish liquid ain't something that you put in the soup. That means you would have to be able to read what it says. That means that you have to be able to comprehend that you don't use that in food. What's the level of comprehension y'all are rating or gauging the kids out? Because y'all just trying to make these kids feel like they don't know what the fuck they doing. And I think that's really vile. But what's even more fucked up is y'all dummies are acting like each generation didn't have people that just wasn't reading on the level that someone thought that they were supposed to be reading on. Hmm? You literally had what are we talking about? And you got to look at it from a concept. The slaves, they can't read. They can't read what exactly? Are we talking about a foreign language because they were indigenous and they had their own languages? Is that why you're saying they can't read? Because it wasn't their language? Of course they're not gonna be able to read. But you need to put it in that context. Don't sit up and try to make it seem like motherfuckers were just walking around stupid and they couldn't read, which is what y'all trying to make it seem like with kids. Like kids are just stupid and they can't read, which is a fucking lie. You can't live on earth and not be able to read because literally it's shit around you that you read all day. You gotta know that a mailbox is a mailbox. Well, that's just something you can memorize. You would have had to have read it first. You would have had to know what the concept of mail is. Otherwise, you would just be throwing that shit away. Huh? What? That's comprehending. I don't think that y'all are putting it in an energetic sense, and that's y'all not putting it in an energetic sense because y'all on this old mindset of things. Ooh, they can't read on this level. Oh, what? Because they not walking around holding a book that somebody else's regurgitated thoughts that they got from somebody else from the past, and they just replicating what they heard somebody else say because they think it's really fly, and because you not. Oh, the classics. The classics to who? Who's classic? Because it's a lot of great books that people say are great books and it's based off of what somebody else said just because somebody else said it. But whose classic is it? It don't have to be their classic. And the comprehension level, I I think y'all sleeping on these kids. Children are now able to multitask with 5 computerized devices. Huh? At one time. That's a different kind of comprehension level that you got to have. But y'all basing it off of this old ancient ass mindset, which is outdated, and you need to advance the way you thinking, but y'all not. And so instead of advancing the way y'all thinking, y'all trying to make it seem like they slow. They know the words, they say the words, they speak the words. But you just trying to make it seem like, oh, they ain't reading on the level, but they literally can operate 5 computer devices at once. can your ass operate two at once while having a conversation with somebody, while using their hands to maneuver another computerized device? We talking about gaming controllers, remotes, computer screens, gaming screens, tablets, cell phones, calculators, all of this while looking through a physical copy book. Who can't comprehend? You can't figure out how to use your damn phone properly. Who can't comprehend because the things they're turning over or backward to or over backward to where it was. People were using technology a long time ago, but now kids are able to advance themselves in the technological sense, but y'all is basing it off of analog stuff. What are you talking about? Things are digital now. So you have to rate them on their digital skills. You wouldn't be trying to rate nobody on some skills that's played out. That don't even sound right. That's like telling somebody, oh, well, you don't grow cotton. You're not versed at growing because you don't grow cotton well. Well, we ain't growing cotton no more. We growing hemp. Hemp is better than cotton, actually. It does. You can use it for more things, and it gives nutrients to the soil, and it cleans the air. So it's better than cotton. Cotton depletes the nutrients from the soil, huh? And it don't clean the air. Like it doesn't clean the air like hemp cleans the air. Hmm? So in that context, you wouldn't tell the person that ain't growing cotton that, oh, well, you're not a good grower because you don't grow cotton as well as we grow cotton. So your growing methods are not great, but I grow hemp amazingly well. You got to change your concepts. The schools is outdated. They outdated. The concepts are outdated, but y'all not advancing because you want to keep teaching this old outdated stuff because you got too many old ass thinking people in place with these old ass thinking things. But in order to get rid of this old ass thinking shit, you're going to have to stop being prejudiced and racist. You can't have it both ways because the truth of the matter is all the kids are advancing with the technology at the same time. Technology don't give a fuck what race you are, what economic status you are. It don't care your heritage, your lineage. It don't care if you've been grandfathered into some shit. It don't care about none of that. It don't care about how long your ancestors been in America. It don't care if y'all got old money. It don't give a fuck about none of that. Y'all care about it. But the fact that y'all keep trying to make it seem like these kids are slow is a problem that I have. Because they not slow. They very intelligent and they comprehend very well. They y'all are just not equipping yourselves with what they able to comprehend. Because it's more than a notion to be able to move between 5 screens and be able to stay focused and comprehend what you doing while you doing that. The cognitive skills are more advanced. You talking about somebody just can read through a fucking book, but all you doing is just reading through that book. We talking about somebody using a computer binary with their human binary and being able to read a physical book while operating multiple binary computer technological digital situations while using their motor skills, their eye coordination skills, and the amount of focus that you got to be able to move your. I don't think y'all are appreciating what they're able to do. Being able to move your mind between music and you gotta look at it too. A lot of the kids don't even be listening to when they playing video games. They don't even be listening to music that got words. It's just music with beats and not no low frequency beats. It be like common classical-esque type music, like cinema orchestra type music they be listening to. I think y'all are misguided in this concept because literally you can't live on earth and not be able to read. So they are reading. But we have to address this concept of what y'all are calling advanced fluency in reading and what y'all are basing that off of. Because if you're basing it, what is comprehension? It's just understanding. That's all it is, comprehending. Being able to understand what. If they can understand, well, they can't understand what they read. Maybe what they reading don't make sense. Because I've read through some of the stuff and it sounds stupid, but it sounds stupid because y'all going backwards, grabbing all this what y'all consider classical reading, and you're trying to put it in a context of the right now. We digital, right? You can appreciate the arts, but put it where it's supposed to be. And y'all really probably shouldn't be teaching that shit in school because it's outdated. It's outdated in the concepts that no one gives a fuck what it is about. But even more so, the concept that y'all, oh my God. First of all, my energy sense, and I'm gonna get back to the slave because we come out because it's Copper Tone History Month. Just the fact that people was just comfortable with this like fragmented thought. Yeah, the slaves couldn't read. Couldn't read what? They couldn't read books. Whose books? Because y'all under the impression that books just started with colonizers, and it did not. They had books, and they had the Alexandria Library in Egypt, so that would denote that it was books everywhere. So what are you saying? What are you saying? They couldn't read what? Because it's really foul. It's really diabolical that y'all just got motherfuckers thinking slaves couldn't read at all. Couldn't read what? It's too open. And the fact that people ain't even saying that. But here's another thing. You can't cook without knowing how to do math. Cooking is math. You can't build shit without knowing how to do math. Building is math. You can't read without being able to do, you can't do any of those things without being able to read. Or comprehend. Because y'all putting reading comprehensions together. So you can't do anything in life without comprehending what you're doing. The kids already speak the words, so they know the words. It's not the words that they have no issue with. It's whose words they're saying. Energetically, God's spelling, people woke now. Energetically, y'all gonna have to change this concept. Because if you actually saying some old fucked up shit and they teaching it in school, your body gonna reject you saying that shit. And you gonna be feeling like, why am I saying this? Why am I doing this? And you're going to reject it as you're supposed to. But y'all trying to ignore that? The kids just can't read. They can't read that outdated bullshit y'all talking about. But I guarantee you, you put fucking Monster Hunter on. You put some of this Poppy shit on. You put some Pokemon game strategy shit, some Fire Emblem, some Mario. You put some video games on the screen, and they got to read through paragraphs, some Elder Rings, some Harry Potter type shit. Oh, they gonna be reading them codes. Okay? You put their asses on some Roblox, and let me tell you something. Y'all full of shit. They know how to communicate, and they do be reading and comprehending shit. They reading codes now. You just gotta advance what you're doing. So it's gonna have to be more code stuff. You're gonna have to get over all that. Ooh, this is such a literary masterpiece to your ass with your outdated thinking self. Y'all gonna have to teach more current stuff. It ain't that they can't read, they just don't want to read the bullshit y'all teaching. Well, they have to. No, you gotta do what makes sense for the time you in. Now, maybe the generation after them will be interested in that literary bullshit. But right now, we don't need to hear no more stories about girls being in attics. Okay? We don't need no more Roman stories unless you telling why motherfucker changed the calendar system from a solar to a lunar calendar system. If you not talking about that, then shut the fuck up talking about the shit. No one cares about why so-and-so got poisoned and people being incestuous in these houses or whatever the fuck they was in. No one cares. I don't care. I didn't care then, and I definitely don't care now. It's interesting a little bit, but not really. I'm still on this thing. Y'all actually thought slaves couldn't read. And people keep saying, the slaves couldn't read. Bitch, if you don't stop telling that bullshit ass lie, you can't cook without reading or knowing how to do math. You'd kill everybody. Are y'all not getting that? What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? You can't you can't build shit without knowing how to read. You'd kill everybody. If you did, and the motherfucking house would fall down. How you know what tools to use? How you know how to use that's reading comprehension. Well, you can just learn how to do. How you learning if you don't know? That's what y'all just trying to move the goalposts. Kids, don't listen to these people tell y'all can't read. You can read what you can read. But what you reading is different from what they reading. Y'all gotta change the way y'all teaching this shit in school. It need to be more codes and code-like situations. You just would change it to advance to what people are able to do now. All that using this kind of font and this kind of thing. Nobody gives a fuck about their writing style. People do using IMs on jobs now. You gotta be able to do that. People using instant messenger and text messages in jobs now. Y'all trying to keep all that old ass analog thought and analog thinking is gonna hold people back, and that's what's making the society fucked up, because y'all trying to keep hold of that bullshit because you learned to master it when you had to learn how to regurgitate that bullshit back to the teacher to pass the class, and you probably cheated then, because there was a lot of y'all motherfuckers cheating in high school, getting caught and still being able to go. But anyway, and so now you just think it's the greatest thing ever. Huckleberry Finn and it's like, shut the fuck up. It's better books out now. And they ain't all based off of some rainbow shit either. Cause y'all getting on my nerves too. If I heard one more motherfucker tell me they truth, listen, I done already said this. Your truth may be a lie to me. Okay? And if we at odds with each other, my truth is gonna be a lie to you. Your truth gonna be a lie to me. That's what y'all failing to realize. Y'all trying to literally force people to accept some shit that they know is a lie to them. It's only your truth. So why are you telling people that? That's another point. But anyway, stop saying slaves couldn't read, you dummies. They was growing crops and shit. Y'all, that's what it denotes, that y'all think that motherfuckers didn't know how to communicate with each other prior to colonizers. That sounds dumb. Especially if you study world history and you know that I can't with y'all. Y'all be saying the stupidest shit. And not only do y'all say the stupidest things, y'all teach that stupid shit in school. It's just dumb. There's no fucking way that you can cook and not know how to comprehend and read what you doing. You gotta know how to set the fire. That's math. Well, that don't really got it. Do it's reading comprehension. If you in the kitchen and you're reading the ingredients, how you know to put it together? You gotta comprehend that. You could have just be showed that. Nah, motherfucker, these motherfuckers was just cooking. Who taught the slaves how to cook? It wasn't the white people. They didn't know what the fuck they was doing. Y'all better stop playing these games. Huh? We talking about the slaves. They was kids. Who taught them how to cook? We talking about fucking 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 8 to fucking 16. Huh? You better look at them fucking records. They was kids that they took. Them was little kids. They didn't get. They did take some grown-ups. Get the fuck out of here. No, they didn't. They took people's children. That's who they took. Kids. And put them into slavery. You better do better research. Now, motherfuckers grew up hundreds of years. Yeah, you're gonna end up being an old person in slavery. But that ain't who they took. You think they was taking grown-ups? Stop. Don't get the shit slapped out your face. That sounds stupid. There's no way they wouldn't have been able to convince grown-ups to do shit like that. There's no way. You can convince kids to do that though. You can program them, but you ain't programming no grown-up. Fuck nah. A grown up, you'd have to you'd have to get rid of their ass. Cause a older person, oh they stay. Once you reach 35, you in your ways. It ain't no changing it. Once you reach 35, puberty don't stop to 30. You see what I'm saying? So it was people. They didn't take motherfuckers over the age of 30. Get out of here. Talking about slaves they couldn't read. What couldn't they read? A foreign language? Hmm? They couldn't read foreign languages? I guess they couldn't. Y'all just trying to make sense. Y'all, it's fucked up that nobody's picking up on this and even taking it into the considerations. Cause y'all just be trying to make it seem like, yeah, the slaves was dumb. No, they wasn't. They couldn't read foreign languages of foreign people. That don't mean that you're stupid. It just means you don't read the language of a foreigner. That's all it means. But you not cooking and building shit if you don't know how to comprehend shit. Now that's what's stupid. The fact that y'all equating reading with comprehending, and that's the fallacy. Reading does not mean that you can comprehend, but y'all have created that fallacy and y'all are trying to present that to these kids because of that slavery shit that they've been doing. Yeah, the slaves can't read. That don't mean that they slow. If they couldn't read, they wouldn't have been able to cook. If they couldn't read, they wouldn't have been able to build things. That's mathematics. Comprehending and reading, well, comprehension is better than reading, but they don't necessarily go together. But y'all are teaching kids in school that you got to be able to read and comprehend, because comprehending just is just comprehending. That's understanding. You can understand without being able to fluently read some regurgitated shit that somebody put in a book. But because of slavery, people have this concept that, oh, the slaves were just dumb. They couldn't read. They couldn't read foreign languages. They couldn't read the foreign language of the colonizer. That's what they couldn't read. But that doesn't mean that they were not able to comprehend. Comprehend has to do with your communication and your understanding. Reading is a form of communication, but it's not the main form of communication. There are multiple forms of communication, and now we're in the digital communication age. Y'all gotta advance yourselves. And stop telling these kids that they slow because they not able to fluently read the bullshit that you think means that they can read well. They not reading on this level. Well, comprehension wise, they are more advanced than most people. If you can sit up and operate multiple screens, multiple computer screens simultaneously, that would denote that you are far more advanced than being able to read a book, because you're able to multitask and operate four or more computers simultaneously while using all of your motor skills, your visual, your physical, your motor skills, your cognitive skills, and focusing and being able to pick up a book, a physical book, and read and research some information and get back to operating those screens. I think that they're more advanced than what y'all giving them credit for. So that means that you need to change your concept of what reading is. Reading and comprehension don't go together. Comprehension is just comprehension. They put the reading comprehension in place to try to make motherfuckers think that the slaves were slow, but the slaves couldn't read foreign languages. Didn't mean it couldn't read. Huh? The slaves couldn't read foreign language books. It didn't mean that they couldn't read because English wasn't their first language. They were bilingual. Huh? What? Yeah, y'all just think Spanish speaking, Spanish English speaking, French English speaking, whatever English speaking language people or bilingual, the slaves were bilingual. They spoke their dialect and English dialect. So that denotes that you have ability to be very intelligent. That's comprehending, being able to think. Huh? Stop telling people these kids slow. They can't read. You slow for saying that shit. And if it's a problem with the kids being able to read with their reading comprehension, that means that some shit you doing is outdated. And there's something wrong with you grown-ups. It ain't nothing wrong with them. It's something wrong with y'all asses. You ain't keeping up with the times. Cause you're outdated in your thoughts. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all still sitting up saying that the slaves couldn't read and y'all comfortable with motherfuckers saying that to your face. Stop it. That don't even make sense. The slaves couldn't read. Bitch, they couldn't read what? A foreign language? Alright, say that. Say they couldn't read a foreign language. But don't sit up and say motherfuckers just couldn't read. They was bilingual. Call it what it is. But you ain't cooking. And we talking about kids. We ain't talking about grown-ups. And so all you stupid motherfuckers think they was taking grown-ups from Africa, y'all fucking idiots. They were stealing people's children from here, the indigenous land, and enslaving them. And sending them all over the place. Get your lives right. We talking about people that invented things that we use today. They wasn't very intelligent. Who are you talking to, Neanderthal? Huh? Who are you talking to, Neanderthal? You don't get your... You don't stop. Couldn't read what? Foreign languages? Well, I guess you can't read a foreign language if you don't speak that language. But you the dummy, thinking that they couldn't read it. Now, if you're not supposed to let motherfuckers know you can read, why would you let them know you can read? Yeah, they can't read. Bitch, they building your shit with the words that they got your with. Y'all was slow. White people, I hate to admit it to you. I hate to tell y'all this. Y'all ancestors were stupid. And y'all regurgitate the stupid shit they were saying. The slaves couldn't read. Bitch, how was they building shit if they couldn't? It got English words on there? How they... Stop. If they building it and they know... Stop. I'm not even going to explain that. Because if I have to explain it, that means you slow. And I'm just going to say it. It sounds how it sounds. But there's no way you cooking for motherfuckers and you can't read. You can't cook something and it end up tasting right. You can't create a recipe and the recipe tastes good once you done with it if you're not good at math. So y'all stop making these kids feel like they're not good at math, because you can't cook and make a recipe of things that taste good together if you're not, because you got to know what ratios. You got to know what ratio of this and that to put together to make it taste good. And how to cook it at what temperatures. That's math. And you got to be able to read shit to do that. Things have names. What do? You read out names. You got to comprehend. It's the comprehension. Y'all trying to make it seem like these kids slow. You not slow if you're able to operate more than one computer system at once. That's just the computer. That's just the screen, the game console, the controllers, the remotes and shit. And the headsets. Right? But you still got the computer software. That they operating on top of that. And y'all sitting up talking about they can't read. Bitch, they reading codes. They're reading computer codes well because they know how to operate that shit better than your old ass. Stop telling these kids they can't fucking read, dummy, and get it with the fucking times. You just gonna have to teach them in codes, stupid. Oh, but you don't know how to do that because you still on these fucking books. Well, You're going to have to advance yourself. Because at some point, they was using codes in history, too. What you think those pictures was? Those was codes, right? They've been using codes for a while. This conjuring on everybody is a new thing. Get the fuck out of here. Stop telling these kids they can't read, and stop sitting up thinking that slaves couldn't read. If anybody tell you that the slaves couldn't read, you need to be saying what afterwards. They couldn't read what? Somebody's foreign language? The slaves was bilingual. Hello? The slaves was bilingual. If you bilingual today, motherfuckers think you highly intelligent. If you can speak more than one language today, people think you highly intelligent. The slaves spoke more than one language. They was highly intelligent people. So what are we doing? These was kids too, by the way, if you're looking at the census records. These were children that could speak more than one language. Huh? Stop saying they couldn't read without saying what they couldn't read. Foreign languages? Somebody's foreign book? A foreign book? That's what they couldn't read? With your fragmented thoughts.